Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and this week we are going to be doing the history of guns. I mean, it's awesome because it's right after Christmas break. Also, by the way, we are about to hit 2K subs, and I got something special for you guys during the 2K subs, so be ready for that. Now, before we get into this video, I of course once again have to do my plugs. Now, if you guys wouldn't mind, please go follow my Twitter in the description below, and also go subscribe to my gaming channel link up there or down in the description below. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. First thing that I want to talk about is one of the funniest things that I think of about the past of guns is about the fact about what they used to call them. They used to call guns gunpowder weapons, which is actually very, very funny because, I mean, like, it just looks like a big, it just looks like a big tube with some gunpowder and a big ball inside of it. And it really does look like a water pipe shotgun from Rust. Unless you guys have never played Rust, you know what I'm talking about. It's just inaccurate, and I'm surprised it can even do harm to people. And, well, apparently it did. I mean, they had to stick gunpowder in the gun and then crush it with a stick. Just crush it with a stick. Put the bullet in it, and then aim it at your target while having your fuse in your hand, and then clicking the little tiny fuse spot that's on the gun. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And it's not like it was 100% sure that you're gonna hit the shot that you're aiming at. I mean, like, the gun was so inaccurate that it was just horrible. Like, it was better to use a crossbow. Also, the gun would sometimes blow up in the user's faces, which for me, back in the old days, I would be like, so this thing is inaccurate, it's so hard to use, you have to make sure that you're accurate in all three things at the same time, and there's a possibility that it can blow up in my face and kill me. No thank you. Yeah, it was just much easier to use a crossbow, and even a crossbow took a long time to reload and everything, but at least it was accurate and actually like, it's a better harm. But everybody knew that the gun had potential and could potentially be the new world, I guess, weapon. The second fact is that they then made the musket, which had this, I guess, kind of like fuse holder, which made it like where it was much easier to use. Yeah, you still had to do the gunpowder and the ball part, but the fuse part was really easy. You just had to push, like, I guess, the fuse, and then it would light the gun. It was almost like a trigger. But it was different. Then they had the flintlock pistol, and this was, I guess, the actual first handgun because you could hold it in your hand and use it. And the thing about this gun is that the fact that it's how do I put this? It's just a trend. It's like it's basically the same as the gun back then with the tube and everything, and yeah, like it's horrible, and people used to actually duel with it, and like, you know how normally you can move around during a duel, right? Well, since this gun was so inaccurate, you had to stand still for this duel. It took you at least 30 seconds to reload the gun. But yeah, it was pretty horrible. Then they made the best thing that could happen to them is the revolver. Now, this gun was awesome because you didn't have to stuff with the barrel with gunpowder. You could just put the bullets in there, put the bullets in the chamber, take it out, and then you could spray with it. The only problem is on the back you had to click it once to shoot it again. So it was basically a semi-automatic pistol, except you couldn't just shoot the trigger over and over again. So yeah. Small note, may I add, so then they had bayonets in the early 1900s during World War I. Since it took forever, and I mean forever, to reload your gun, they were like, whatever, we're just gonna use bayonets. So they attached basically a giant sword to the end of your gun, and were like, screw this, I'm not reloading. So they would shank you pretty much. I mean, that's just what happened. The third fact is that in the early 1900s, like the early 1900s, like the 1910 to 1930, they had the Gatling gun, and the Gatling gun was actually named after a guy named Gatling. That was his last name, by the way. Imagine having a gun named after you. Must feel nice. Well, fun fact is that this gun was way too heavy to handle, so you had to put it on a tripod. And it was actually the first automatic gun, you could say, fully automatic. The only problem was you have to move the chamber while shooting it. So yeah, that's the only downside to that. But other than that, it was fully automatic. You could actually just spray with it. So yeah, it was It was very powerful. Then in the 1940s, they had the Tommy gun. Now the Tommy gun was pretty inaccurate as far as like nowadays standards. But it was like that. It was like that gun that you would get if you were rich, in a way. Like, I always think of the Tommy gun with the Mafia. I'm just saying it. That's all I think about whenever I think of the Tommy gun.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no-good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
But other than that, yeah, like, I just think the Tommy gun is pretty cool, and I like it. It's just a fun gun to look at, but yeah. So the most used gun in World War II was the M1 Garand. It was a pistol, semi-automatic pistol, and I'm guessing that the reason they used it is because it was semi-automatic, fully semi-automatic. However, the M1 1918 bar or I don't know how to pronounce that part. Bar, I guess. That gun was the best. I think it's the best gun to use in World War II. I mean, it was fully automatic. You had to put it on a tripod. You could hold it in your hand, but it was very heavy. And yeah, it just looks like an amazing gun. Like, I would use this in Call of Duty Zombies. Man, that gun just makes me so horny. The fifth fact is that then we didn't really have any more wars until the 1960s when Vietnam, and since nobody wanted to go to Vietnam, they had drafts. And people were assholes to the people who got drafted. I mean, like, they had no choice to go. I mean, pretty much. I mean, there were some people who probably signed up to go, but I doubt that a lot of people signed up for it, because I can't see, people signing up for that stupid war, honestly. And the most of the guns that they used was the M16 and the M14, which are fully automatic, and in some games like Call of Duty, they see it as semi-automatic, which I'm like, no, it was fully automatic, but whatever. And even today, when we're going into Iraq and Iran, we are still using these guns. Isn't it beautiful? Fun fact, the Cold War actually happened between 1947 and 1991, and that would have sucked to live in that time period, because you literally think you literally think your whole country and the other country is getting bombed with nuclear bombs, and that's just horrible to think about. Imagine living in that kind of stress. Imagine. That just sucks so much. Well, alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys liked the video, please hit the like button. It'd be very much appreciated. If you want to see more content from me, please hit the subscribe button, because that lets me know that you want to see more content from me. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later. Peace out, and have an amazing day. Peace.